Shannon's, part of Mike and Shannon's family. And take a picture of all them so you can see who's here. We had state conference today, so there's a few of us together. We have Aaron's and Desiree's family. You guys raise your hand if you're from Aaron and Desiree. There you go. And we have Ryan and Mike's family. You guys raise your hands. And we have Bobby and Sarah's family. You guys raise your hands. And we're in Bobby and Sarah's nice new home in Richfield. We just had dinner. Now I want to tell you about my sister. Now my sister is about 10 years older than I am. So that's the same difference there is between Ashley and Rhett, pretty much. So that's about how much difference there is between me and my sister. And so I'm sure that she grew up tending me and my little sister and my brother and taking care of us and probably changing our diapers and all of that sort of thing. But I don't remember very much of that. But what I do remember is her closet. We lived in a house that had a big upstairs in it, and there was a closet up there, and it was full of these great big dresses. And they were prom dresses for going to proms. And that's dances they had in high school. And they were just big fluffy things, and I can remember crawling around inside that, in all of these dresses. I thought she must have had 100 of them. I know she had quite a few. She was beautiful, and she even one time was some kind of a princess or something, because I can remember seeing her on a float with some other girls in some pretty gowns during a parade. And so she was a lot of fun in high school, but I don't remember much of that. But when I first started really remembering about her, other than I knew that she took care of me and I loved her, I knew she was my sister, was when she started bringing boys home from college. So she'd grown up, went to college. By then I would have been about 8, 9, 10 years old, so I started remembering things better. And she brought home boys from college. And finally she brought home the one that she married, was Mike McBride. And he was a real strong, burly kind of guy, and he used to play pretty rough with us, and I know he used to make me cry. I remember that. Well, anyway, she got married and went away and started having her family. And I grew up, and she used to come home. I can remember her coming home with her family as I was growing up, and it was always fun to have her come to Grandma's house for Thanksgiving. I remember lots of great, big, wonderful meals, and she always came with her family, and it was a lot of fun to be around. We played games, and sometimes we sang, and she was always just so kind to me. And I remember a special time when my mom and dad went on a big vacation. I think they went clear to Europe, and Aunt Terry came and tended me and my brother and sister, and stayed with us, I think 2 weeks or maybe longer, I don't know. But I do remember one thing is I got very, very, very sick. And I was throwing up and getting dehydrated, and I was just very, very sick. And the thing I remember most is how good Terry was to me in taking care of me, and just was so concerned about me. And it was always just this wonderful feeling of love that we had when we were around her. After I came home from my mission and got married, her and Mike McBride, I had all of their kids by then, all my nephews and nieces, and I just loved my nephews and nieces, so we tried to go to everything we possibly could. And then there became an opportunity that I could go down and work on a farm that they had down in Alpine, Utah. And we lived in a trailer house, and we lived right next to them. And it was just one of the best times of my whole life to be there close to my sister and to be around her family as they were growing up. But that's when Jake was born. You know, all know who Uncle Jake is. Yep. And that's where we were living when Uncle Jake was born. And so it was fun. And for 2 years, I got to live right next to her. And she was just a wonderful mother and took good care of her family. And she had some really hard times in her life, too. And she showed through all of that she could be true and faithful. As good as she could. Everybody has bumps and troubles in their life. And Aunt Terry had a lot of hard times for a while. But even during that time, when I had trouble, she was always there. When I was living in Hazleton, that's when Jake's mother took off. And I was there all alone. And guess who showed up to come and stay with me? My sister. She came and she stayed with me for several days. Helped me out and helped me feel better about myself and the way things were going to go. She was just always so supportive and loving. And then a few years after that, we were living where we live now, and I had a brain tumor. So you heard about that. And guess who showed up then? Aunt Terry and my little sister. And they came and they painted the house and fixed things up, and it was just always right there. So we've always had a wonderful relationship with Aunt Terry. And she's just so easy to talk to and to turn to when you need help. It always has been so supportive and so good to us.
And I remember Aunt Terry, the first time I met her, I was living in Midvale in a little tiny apartment, and right next to that was a building, and a massage chiropractor guy moved in there and came over to me that knew my dad and my family, and he said, "Would you like to be a receptionist for me?" And I said, "Sure, that would be nice." So I went over there and worked for him, and while I was just taking the money and checking people in and stuff like that, then I got to go back there and work with the people that were laying on the table and getting a massage, and Terry would come, Mike's sister, and I got to know her pretty well, and she wanted to know if I wanted to go out with her brother, and I said, "No, I don't think so." She says, "Well, we have tickets at a ball game. They had really front row good seats, and we could go together." And she asked me several times, and I said, "Oh, I guess so." And so we went out, and then we went out to Chinese food after. But the funny thing is when Papa came to pick me up, he came and got me to the door. First of all, he got lost to find me, and so he opened his door. Instead of going around to the other door to let me in, he made me crawl over the steering wheel. And he says, "Oh yeah, my other door doesn't work, so I got you trapped in here." And I thought, "Oh, I don't even know this guy." Anyway, we went down to watch the ball game. It was fun. I don't know who played with BYU, and I don't even know if they lost. And that's how I met Papa. And we went out to this young Chinese place after, and Aunt Terry got us hooked up.
Well, Aunt Terry's the reason that...
So I'm a blind date.
Yeah, well, Aunt Terry's the reason that Grandpa and Grandma got together in the first place.
So I've always liked Aunt Terry. She's really wonderful. Now she works at the temple, and I think that's the best. I love to go to the temple too. So happy birthday, Aunt Terry.
And I would like to, let's all sing happy birthday to Aunt Terry on her special 75th birthday. So you ready?
Sit up.
Here we go. Sit up, everybody. Let's hear your best voices.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Terry. We love you.
Yes, we love you. Bye.